listening to the Metal Command Podcast.
Greetings, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Metal Command Podcast. Tony here with you, and today I'm here to talk about a new release on Frontiers Records by the band called Infinite and Divine, and it is, of course, the album is titled Ascendancy. And this is a typical Frontiers Records release, meaning that it's melodic hard rock. You know, Frontiers does have some power metal stuff, and you know they do have some AOR stuff, but melodic hard rock is basically their staple. Basically, if you go and buy any release that comes out on Frontiers, you're pretty much guaranteed for the most part to find an album that is in that category, because that's basically what they specialize in. Now, as far as this band is concerned, it's a newer group. You have Tezzi on vocals, and I think she is a phenomenal singer. And Jan Åkesson, he is producing the albums and playing most of the instruments on the albums themselves. So really, really good stuff. And definitely a newer collaboration that just coming onto the scene. Now, to give you a little bit of a background, I remember the first album. I actually have the first album sitting right here. I remember getting it. And, you know, when I listened to it, when I listened to the first record, and let me preface this by saying I love the second one, okay? But when I listened to the first one, you know, did I think it was good? Yeah, I probably would have given it a 6 out of 10, maybe. I could hear that some of the songs were good. I could hear a lot of potential, and definitely I heard the talent that this band actually has. But it was one of those things, you get a new collaboration, it does take some time to gel with the other musician in the band with you, or the other musicians. And sometimes bands, when they first form, it does take 2 or 3 records to really get that album that really just blows everybody's doors off, right? I mean, you know, a lot of bands, most of them, usually the second, third, usually the second or third album is when they really come into their own. To me, and again, when I heard the first record, you know, it wasn't that I disliked it, but I could hear the potential, and it didn't grab me like the second album does. So this album, and I talk about this, I have an interview I am going to be posting with Tezzi and Jan. I did tell them this. I said the second album basically is light years ahead of the first one. Like, if you heard the first album and then you go to the second one, it's got the same style of music. The production is pretty much the same. Like, the sound of the band is the same, but the songwriting is a lot better. And that usually comes with experience. That usually comes with, okay, you build that musical chemistry with somebody. And I can tell you flat out, the second album is great, because with this one, I listened to it a few times, but I really wasn't going back and listening to it anymore. With this one, and I've been listening to the digital, I mean, we get digital promos before it comes out. I just got the CD, actually, which I'm excited about. But with this one, I find myself listening to it a lot. I keep going back to the album quite a bit. And, you know, I'm looking at my phone right here. I'm looking at the plays that this album has had. I've listened to each song about 20 times, which, you know, I could tell you with their first album, it probably wasn't more than 5 or 6 times. But this one hit me right away. The interesting thing about it, I'll give you some of my favorite songs on it, but, you know, believe it or not, for me, the first couple songs on it, I mean, they're good, but those are the songs I like the least, actually. I take that back. I mean, LARP is a good song, but songs like Silent Revolution, I Hold My Life, Forever With Me, Leave Me, those are, I mean, these tracks are absolutely amazing. And I listen to them, and I love listening to new musicians. You know, like, a lot of times you get these labels that will recycle the same people but just put them on all these different albums, collaborating with people. But it's nice to see some newer musicians out there that at least I've never heard of getting together and making some music. And Tezzi's voice is phenomenal. I'm actually quite surprised that, you know, I haven't heard of her, and I'm quite surprised she hasn't been really given more recognition than what she's received. I think she's phenomenal. I was listening to her voice, you know, and I like female singers a lot, actually, when they're doing hard rock metal, but her voice is pretty awesome. And, you know, it's funny because I thought it was great on the first album as well. I mean, I think out of the gate, I think she sounded good. And Jan, obviously, he's a very good, talented player and musician as well. But for me, it was really a songwriting thing is really what it was. I still think this is a band that has a higher ceiling. And when I say ceiling, I mean, they have the potential to be even better than where they are. That's not something that is, that's not a criticism. It's just a fact that that's how musicians evolve together. Musicians evolve together and get better. And I think that this band is going to get better. I'm really optimistic for them, simply because of the jump from the first album to this second one. I definitely dig it. So, folks, if you are really into, melodic hard rock, if you like female vocals, this is definitely something for you to check out. And I'm definitely digging it. So with that said, I will be posting that interview in the very, very near future. It's probably going to go up this weekend, most likely. But I am going to post it. Jan and Tezzi both came on. And again, they sound really good. Jan's a really good producer, actually, and a very good player. And Tezzi's vocals, as a singer myself, I'm going to flat out tell you, she has an amazing voice. She really does. And my hat's off to them. Props to them. I wish them the best of luck. I really hope, in the scene, we need more newer bands that nobody's really heard of. And we need to really, embrace a lot of these artists, because artists like this are the future of our genre, which is going to be another video I'm going to be having down the road here very soon. But very, very good stuff. If you like melodic hard rock with some AOR elements in it, definitely pick up Infinite and Divine Ascendancy. So with that said, thanks for watching.